Hey, you guys didn't say what part of the world y'all are on, and I'm starting to feel kind of fucked up right now.
I live
Dalton's
right
from
in
Colorado.
America's neck.
Nick is from Florida. Josh is from Virginia.
Damn.
And okay, keep going.
Just
Man,
shouting
he's
them
out
out.
everybody. Shit.
Yeah, man. Yeah, dude.
What
Y'all
about
all
we
gonna
was
have-
talking about snitches earlier, Dakota? What the fuck?
Y'all,
That's what you're
Hey, man,
saying. It's
y'all-
cool to be a snitch now.
y'all gonna have somebody burning y'all's clothes, okay?
Come and get me.
That's right. Get a fucking life is all I'm saying.
Amen.
That's that social media, man. It's good, but it's also
a blessing and a
used.
curse.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That double-edged sword.
It can go to want some dick to losing your job.
Hey,
Shit.
Well, it's
I
a
know
big.
exactly where you pulled that line.
Josh,
from.
yes,
Son of a bitch.
All right, what's up, everybody, and welcome back to Verbally Challenged. HarikenBx here, and I got a few friends here with me tonight. So let's say hello. First up, from the All Queued Up podcast, Josh Fisher. How you doing tonight, Pop?
Doing outstanding. Thanks for having me.
No problem, brother. You're always welcome. Always welcome. All right. Next up, Masterpiece Shitpiece. What's going on, man?
What's up, brother? Chilling. Just happy to be here.
No doubt, no doubt. It's been a while. I think episode 6 was the last time you joined us. So, it's nice to have you back.
Well, thank you, sir, for having me.
All right. Next up, Ty Prime. What's happening?
What's going on? I'm from Stasis Lock. You know, that Beast podcast where all the superior masterpieces had. What's good? Let's get it.
Look at him. He's trying to start some shit over here. All right. We might have another Beastie Boy joining us tonight, Dakota. So we'll see if he pops in momentarily.
Oh, there's Dalton.
hey, what's up?
What's up, B?
Yo, what's up, Dalton? What's happening, bro?
Oh, not a whole lot. Just another day in paradise.
Nice. Welcome to Verbally Challenged. Next up, for making his very first appearance on the show, all the way from Germany and 6 hours in the future, Tim K. What's happening, man?
Hey,
Let's make some noise.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Good to be here.
All
shit,
right.
there he is,
And I
my
think
old
he just
profile
made it
there.
by the skin of his teeth. We got
Oh,
Dakota.
wait.
What's happening?
Hey, what's going on, everybody?
Hey, what's up?
baby? How you doing?
Oh, baby, Nick. Oh, fucking hanging out.
Yeah, you see how sexy I sound with this new mic? Got it right up on my lips.
Dude,
Just for
you
you.
right there. You right there on that team.
Mm-hmm.
My boy.
Oh, goodness.
All right. Thank you guys for joining me tonight. Really, really appreciate it.
Anytime.
Thanks for
man.
having us.
All right. So, as of this recording, SDCC just wrapped up this past weekend. That's San Diego Comic-Con for those out there listening. So, that's an event that's just tons of reveals that people, look forward to each year. All sorts of media. It's movies, television, action figures, video games. I mean, you name it. Tons of reveals and stuff like that. So I'm sure we've all seen the footage throughout the weekend. Just search the hashtag SDCC 2018 on social media. You could just see it all for yourselves. Just tons of stuff, between movies and TV trailers. Tons of things that I'm looking forward to. I made a little list and we could discuss it. I'd like to hear everybody else's favorites that they got to see throughout the weekend. So, we could just go round robin. Dakota, if you're ready, I'll start with you. What did you see and enjoy throughout the weekend?
So, dude, if I'm being honest, not a whole lot. My preferences for things are very peculiar. So, I was hoping to see some, and I don't know if maybe they were there because I know in past years they've bunched them in with the 6-inch stuff, but I didn't see any 3 3/4 inch Marvel stuff, and that's been a fear of mine. That's going away and never coming back, and no one else going to pick up the helm. So I think the bringing back some of those harder to find 6-inch X-Men figures, that's cool. The Transformer stuff didn't do it for me at all. The what I did think was really, really cool though was Marvel's little marketing campaign with dealing with like the whole Thanos fallout, and like they even had they had an actor there playing a psychiatrist and stuff. And I thought all that was funny, like all the inspirational posters around like "We are Groot" and like the different various sayings from throughout all the movies. I thought that was a really awesome thing for Marvel to do. It got a little bit of backlash, but I thought it was cool, man. Like that's something I would have loved to have been there to get a shirt that says "I survived Thanos" or whatever. And like another thing disappointing, like I collect the Halo 6-inch line from Mattel, and like Wave 3 is supposed to be out at some point, I guess. Wave 2 just hit a few months ago. So I was expecting to see some of the Wave 3 stuff, and they didn't have any of that there. Also, like no news as to the next Transformers comics installment out of IDW. They just talked a little bit about like Unicron and that event, and that was it. So like, I don't know. Like this just wasn't a good Comic-Con for me. I didn't really have a whole lot to get pumped about.
Okay. What, like, and none of the upcoming movie and TV trailers like caught you, like Shazam, Aquaman, Godzilla, stuff like that?
Oh, you mean fuck Batman? Yeah, Aquaman, like it looks good, even though it's a carbon copy of the Black Panther trailer.
Yeah. I saw a comparison video on Facebook earlier today. I was like, oh my god, that shit is crazy.
It's uncanny. Yeah, it's so like, I'll be honest, like I'm not a big fan of DC stuff, but like the way they're revamping Aquaman, I think that's pretty cool, and it's about time. I think it would have been gangster as shit if Marvel would have just like known about that, and just like they wouldn't have even had to do a trailer. It's just a poster of a trident like at the ocean floor, and just like the Namor logo underneath it. Man, if they threw that out there, like that would be it. I think that would totally.
That's one of the
shadow
ones
that.
they don't have rights to, though.
No, I thought they did have rights to Namor. It's
because it's Universal. It's that same deal with the Hulk.
No.
They can't do a solo Namor movie.
Man, that would like I want a Namor movie. Like I think a Namor movie would be like a good way to kick off the MCU X-Men. You know what I mean?
Word.
Just a trailer. It's like he's talking about like because we know Steve Rogers isn't going to be with us after the next Avengers movie. I think Evans said it was his last one. Be Namor just like, I fought with the Captain once, and like you see some like flashbacks to whenever they fought in World War II together. That like I think that would be a baller shot caller trailer. But man, that bummed me out. So yeah, like other than that, like I mean that's pretty much it. Like I said, not a whole lot really grabbed me by the balls.
He's a man of particular tastes.
Yeah, that's cool. You weren't digging the Transformers line like either. None of that War for Cybertron Siege stuff like was doing it for you. Like, damn, are you that much of a beastie boy? Like you that?
It's no, like, that's the thing. It's not that. It's just like it's still more of that blocky, boring. Let's try to make G1 again. Design choices, and like instead of making it stylized like they did, what 5 years ago now. They're still kind of going back to the boring sculpts. In my opinion, the paintwork I will say looks good. The weathered looks. I do like that, but like it's not futuristic or I guess advanced Cybertronian looking enough for me to be like, wow, that looks good. It just looks like Earth vehicles minus windshields.
They look like they really did straddle that line. Like they basically made them look very G1, and the alt modes are I guess you can say Cybertronian, but they still look like the G1 alt modes as well.
Exactly. Like they gave Optimus Prime truck a forehead that turned into a cape. Like it just.
Ultra Magnus looked kind of Unicron trilogy to me, kind of a blend of Unicron trilogy and Red actually.
Yeah, the RID. He's got the RID alt mode, which I
like his alt mode. It had his robot mode look like that too. That would have been cool. I would have been like, man, that's a neat Magnus.
Yeah.
But it didn't. It transformed into like I don't know about you, but I already have a superior Ultra Magnus that came out in 2015. Like that, the Combiner Wars Magnus. That one's as a mainline Magnus goes. That's the best I think.
That one was pretty nice.
Yeah, as a mainline, you're right. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, but this one, you know, I'm really liking the line because it looks like you're seeing like a little bit. There's still some of the hollowness, you can still see it, but it looks like there's a lot less of it, and it looks like they're giving increased focus on articulation and stuff. Like it looks like even all the deluxes have ankle tilts now. That the Voyagers have the ankle tilts, the leader class have the ankle tilts. So it allows for the more like dynamic posing. And I saw the interview. What is his name? John Warden, the designer.
Yeah.
He was talking about like the blast effects that you could put on the robots. You know what I'm saying? So you could use set your own little battle scenes and take your photos and stuff like that. I'm digging
that. I think is a neat line wide gimmick. Like coming off of these past 3 lines that have had, in my opinion, poor forced gimmicks across the entire line. That's awesome. It's just like how many times are they going to redo the 84 cast? You know?
Yeah.
I am looking forward to the Mirage and Impactor 2-pack that got voted. I wish we would have seen some of that. I wish we would have seen some Decepticons, but a lot of people are speculating New York Toy Fair. That makes sense. Or not Toy Fair, Comic-Con. But
Toy Fair.
It's just like it's just that same kind of 84 cast all over again. It's like, man, this is stagnant. I hate to say it. You know, like some new characters would be nice.
Yeah.
You know, we haven't seen new characters in years.
Yeah.
And see, I agree with that. I think they're sticking to the 84 cast way too closely, way too frequently. I feel like, and even, being the diehard Beast Wars fans that we are, I'm not even saying I want to see some more Beasts. I mean, of course I would, but like even just some new faces, you know what I mean? Like give Windblade a team and make the whole line about her. You know what I mean? Maybe not the whole line about her, but like the whole line around a new team instead of the 684th Optimus Prime and the 27th Ultra Magnus and so on and so forth, right? Like I'll wait till it's my turn to discuss my thoughts on it. Oh well, okay. I kind of contrast, or I'm in contrast with what Dakota's opinion is. I think the War for Cybertron Siege line looks good. In fact, I think. I wouldn't say the paint's bad, but I feel like that's the weakest part of the aesthetic. I think the molding is really on point. As far as designs go, I really like the homage to the RID Ultra Magnus. And even though it transforms into a G1 Ultra Magnus robot, the alt mode homage is really nice. And it looks like that the back portion of them can actually hold, I think it's deluxe class figures or maybe Legends class figures. I think that's really cool in itself. With the gimmick being what it is, like the whole, what were you saying, like the blast parts and the battle damage and stuff like that. I think that's really cool. And I wouldn't say like the Prime Wars trilogy gimmicks were terrible. I feel like they were a lot more incorporated into the bot itself instead of being an added on aesthetic. Maybe that was a little bit of a detriment, but I liked Combiner Wars for what it was. Repaint City, but it was still good. It gave you, it gave you options. It gave you ways to not only create your own combiners, but to really assemble the teams that a lot of people grew up with at an affordable price, because, combiners were huge then from third party, and Hasbro tapped that market and gave us affordable combiners. And the Titans Return with the Headmaster, everything was a Headmaster. That was kind of lame, but we got figures like Topspin and Twin Twist, which were amazing. I thought they were fantastic. I'm excited. I'm excited for the Siege line. I don't think I'm going to buy anything personally because, I've focused my collection towards the Beasts and the Beasts only. But I'm really excited for the Chug collectors out there, for people who are digging this, because it does look good. I like the alt modes in that they're not, like he said, the regular vehicles without windshields. But that, to me, that's different enough to be Cybertronian. They don't all have to be pancakes like the original Cybertronian Bumblebee. And I feel like that aesthetic is more rugged, and it gives off kind of like a we do business vibe, because it's the War for Cybertron, and I feel like the designs and the paint and everything really emulates, and the sculpting especially really emulates what they're going after.
I will be honest. I would like to say, like the waffles never bothered me. I know you kind of touched on that earlier, like the hollowness and the waffles. Like that was never really anything that I personally had an issue with. But it's just like Tyler said, like he's digging the sculpts. I'm not digging the sculpts. I don't think that they're as detailed and stylized as they could be. But I don't know, man. Like it's not just Transformers that has me bummed. Like I said, there's no 3 3/4 inch product coming out. Like to me, like that's the action figure scale. Like you can fit so many of those guys on a shelf where like 6 inch you're a little limited. And I like the way that 3 3/4 inch goes with everything else. It's like a little more closer, I feel.
Which brands were you collecting that scale in? Were you doing the Marvel Legends and the Star Wars?
I was doing Marvel and GI Joe, but
Okay.
like primarily Marvel. I had a bunch of them and got rid of them, and then like now I'm trying to buy the X-Men back. And a buddy of mine actually has all of them, and I think he's gonna sell them to me in a lot. But just to have some more, like some of the more like modern depictions of these characters, like I would love like Thor as he's drawn now in the in the 3 3/4 inch line. I think that would be so cool with
Mhm.
the metal arm, the golden hammer, like all that stuff. I don't know, like I just like I'm sure we'll get that in 3 3/4 inch, but I don't think we'll get it, or not 3 3. I think we'll get it in 6 inch, but like I kind of fear that I'm not gonna have that cool display for my 3 3/4 inch shelf.
Yeah. I thought they were still supporting like that line because I still remember seeing that scale of Marvel figures on the shelves. So
there were some 2-packs that are coming out that have like the Marvel versus Capcom. Maybe if I see some more of those, I'll be more excited, I guess. Because I want to say one of them had like Ryu in it. So if I can get some 3 3/4 inch Street Fighter guys, like that would be cool. And like I'm also collecting the Vitruvian hack stuff from Boss Fight. Those are like I got my first one as a birthday present from the Stasis Lock fellas. I got the Achilles figure, and it's just awesome.
They're beautiful.
Yeah, solid figures. Very like modular. Like it's awesome, dude. It's killer. Like I'm definitely like I've got a lot more that I'm looking at to buy, and like you customize and so much stuff
And
you
the
can do.
accessories they come with, those boss fight figures, and
yeah, dude.
you
And
can
like, it's
buy
not
the
just
blank-
like
you can buy the
it's-
blanks.
Yeah, the
It's-
blanks. You can buy the armor sets. You can buy the weapon sets. You can, and they come in all these different colors, and yeah, it's not just like the Greek stuff anymore. They've got like some medieval line kind of going along with it. Man, if they would do the Greek gods, just all the Greek gods, I would fund the shit out of that in a heartbeat.
Yo,
right now it's just
hashtag
kinda
broke
like
boy
Spartan.
doll life.
But it's like right now it's just kind of like Spartan warriors, and like they made a King Leonidas. That shit's so cool. It's just like, man, like I said, dude, if they can knock out like the rest of the Greek gods, and then maybe move their way towards like Norse mythology after that. Oh, dude, some Vikings in that scale. Oh, dude, like I'd have to get another bookcase. I love the Vitruvian hack stuff. Sculpt work on it's great. The accessories are great, like Josh said. They're definitely on my radar.
really-
And then Chicken Fried Toys is coming out with some cowboys, and those are looking awesome, man. I got to see the test shots for those at Little Rock Comic Con. You got like Wyatt Earp, and I think he said he's going to end up doing he'll probably end up doing like Doc Holliday and like some of those other more well-known like cowboys and outlaws and stuff like that. And that's something else I'm really into, similar to
That's
that.
kind of cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
I'd like a Doc Holliday fig.
Yeah.
I'm your
Huckleberry. Guns.
All right. What about anybody else as far as SDCC? Any other highlights anybody want to share?
That Aquaman trailer just tickled me in all the right places. Let me tell
I
you.
agree. I thought I'm not one for super dupers whatsoever, and I thought that would be a really cool movie to go see in theaters. I'm
Yeah,
excited.
I think
for
I'm gonna
it.
like it. I think I'm gonna like it. That's another one of those deals where like, DC really should have done this before their Justice League movie.
Yes,
I agree.
I
Justice
agree
League
100%.
Yep.
There's no
Yep.
I agree.
cohesive. Yeah.
I was going to say a little known fact about me. My favorite DC superhero is Aquaman, and he has been for over 25 years. I love Aquaman. So this movie, I mean, come on.
Yeah.
That trailer gave me everything I wanted to see from an Aquaman movie.
Nice.
And one of my favorite lesser known actors is Patrick Wilson, and he's the one that's playing Ocean Master.
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
Patrick
Yeah,
Wilson's great. He's from The Conjuring and that stuff.
Yeah, well, see, his grandmother used to live the next town over, and he did a low budget movie here a couple of years ago. So had the opportunity to meet him. Pretty cool guy, laid back
That's
as
awesome,
hell.
man.
Yeah,
Nice.
he's a Virginia boy too.
Cool. That's cool.
Chief of trailers, man. I was all about Godzilla, Glass.
Oh,
Glass. Yeah, I didn't even think about Glass.
Oh,
That's gonna be
yeah.
good, dude.
I
Can't wait
never
for that
saw
one.
Split until a couple of weeks ago, but I knew that it was a tie-in. And after seeing Split, when I saw the trailer for Glass, when I saw the poster for Glass, I'm like, oh, I'm getting a little bit of a
Yeah,
chuck here.
dude.
Yeah.
And then when I saw the trailer for it, I was like, yes, 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 I can't wait for this.
Yeah.
See, and I'm glad with Godzilla that we're getting not just Godzilla. It's Mothra, it's Rodan, it's Ghidorah. You know,
Mothra.
That
Yeah.
Godzilla trailer had me feeling some type of way too, man. That thing looked
Yeah.
awesome.
It
Yeah,
looks
that
so
looked
Yeah,
really
it does look good.
fun.
I hate that
I
it's so
just-
far out though. You know, like
I just
wanna
hope
go
it's
see
not
these
a
movies, like,
repeat of the.
tomorrow.
I just hope it's not a repeat of the last one, where all of those cool scenes only show up for 5 minutes at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
but
Yeah, trailer wise, it was pretty cool. Aquaman still had me on the feet. I mean, I'm happy for you, Josh, that you really liked it, but I suppose I really like it too. But the problem I have with the DC universe, what they did now is that change in tone since Justice League. That's a really big problem I got with it, because I enjoyed the tone with Man of Steel and with BVS and Wonder Woman, and I think they just dropped the ball with it. They could have done so much more, but they were afraid of the numbers they were pulling in, and just wanted to have something from Marvel, and now they're going back to it. They're backpedaling to a more colorful audience, and that's also not the right thing to do. For me, I'm kind of the guy. Okay, I can still enjoy Justice League as what it is. It's a good movie, but to me, there's just that big of a change in tone. They didn't show at least a little bit of their whole Superman death arc, where he returned with the resurrection suit and anything. That was a ball dropped. But I think as a standalone movie, I think Aquaman will absolutely work. I think that looks really good. Also, the retro suit that was kind of funny to see.
The orange and the green.
Yeah.
yeah, but man, fucking Shazam, that hit me. I've
Yeah.
always been a huge Shazam fan, and I was worried about how they were going to handle it. And it looks like it has the right amount of humor. It's not going to be, over the top.
See,
I get that dark stuff is DC's thing, but man, like if it gets too edgy, like the audience is gonna cringe and it's not gonna be good.
Yeah, you don't have to put the dark on every character. Like it should just
Right,
make
like-
sense. If it's
like
Batman, keep
Batman's
it dark.
thing.
That's
If
right.
If it's Superman, it could be a little bit lighter. If it's Wonder Woman, it could be a little bit lighter.
Yeah.
And that's what Shazam's always been about, man. It's about the wonder,
Yeah, because he's a
And-
kid.
Yeah.
He's a kid.
that's the thing. I've never read a lot of Shazam, so I never, when I did read any Shazam, I didn't see him as, I knew his secret identity. He's a kid and everything, but I never saw like him in the hero persona, being Shazam as this wondrous, naive kind of kid figure, and I never read him that way. So I'm just like, wow, I don't know how this trailer makes me feel. I don't know if I'm going to like this or not. I'm going to see it,
Most-
obviously.
Yeah.
Sorry, most people are familiar with Shazam through Kingdom Come. A lot of people didn't read like the Ostrander shit back in the day, and like the Wiz comics like collections and stuff. So like most people have like this view of Shazam being like very stern and kind of gritty.
And he's not. Yeah,
yeah,
the personality is still the same. It's not like he matures. It's still the same personality, just like in a man's body.
And
Like Lion-O.
yeah,
Basically, yeah. I'm sorry, Nick. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No.
Yeah, so it's to me like the same as you, Nick. I was a little bit worried about it, especially you kind of see the photos that get leaked out, and you're like, that doesn't really look that great. But I always overlook that because when you see something in motion, it's always gonna look a lot better, like on film. This trailer, like I dug it. I dug what they did. It looks like it's gonna be a nice little origin movie. I want them to get some wins, man. I am a DC fan. You know what I'm saying? I want these movies to be good, and Aquaman looked pretty decent too.
Yeah, me too. I'm a DC guy too. I watched Green Lantern is one of my favorites, and I was really disappointed with the whole Ryan Reynolds movie. I mean, it had its moments, but in the end, I mean, really, come on, Parallax was looking like a pile of floating shit, and not like that insect-like entity. It's originally, they could have done so much more. Like maybe at least hinting at Ion being like that whale-like thing and everything. They could have done so much more, and I really hope that Aquaman takes off a little bit more and shows a broader audience to a little bit more, and then you can actually do Green Lantern a little bit more sophisticated, fleshed out, just plain better, actually.
I think with that movie they really damaged Green Lantern in the motion picture category.
Yeah, it
for
did.
a long time.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily agree with that, because with Green Lantern, I don't, correct me if I'm wrong, but it was before the DCU was established, was it not?
Right.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. It was.
So if they're to do one in the DCU, they have a fresh slate. They could do a whole fresh take on the Green Lantern, and they could do it right this time, learning from the mistakes from the first one.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
the
Also
people
doesn't
will,
help that like
the people,
Ryan
the
Reynolds
people,
shit all over it too.
yeah, the
know.
people will still connect with it. I always like the example of Dredd. Judge Dredd, the Sylvester Stallone movie. That's campy as fuck. I enjoy it to this day because it has Stallone and there was funny shit in it. But it was a box office failure. It didn't connect on a level that really put the success into the studio's hands, And yeah, I think that's what you're gonna ask. I think the Dread movie with Carl Urban, it was fated to fail from the beginning.
Oh man, it was so good.
It
I love
so
the Dread.
It was a
Carl
good
Urban
movie.
Dread.
It's a
Oh, that
fucking
was a
great
good
movie. I still enjoy it. I enjoy the soundtrack. Carl Urban, perfect as Dread, but it
I
was
really like him as an
yeah,
actor.
but it was hurt by the Sylvester Stallone movie. It's simple. People connect that shit. It's casual moviegoers. At the end of the day, you still have casual moviegoers in the cinema, and that's also what's happening with Green Lantern, and that's probably what may be toning down the success for the DCEU and overall. When people are not that super casual and they maybe inform themselves, okay, what is Green Lantern? Oh, it's a CDC movie. Now we have Superman, Wonder Woman, DC. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I think that the best thing that they could do with Green Lantern is put Hal Jordan on the shelf and use Jon Stewart.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Do like a Mosaic movie, or something with Jon Stewart with his more military background. I don't know what maybe Michael Jai White. That'd be dope. Black Dynamite is Green Lantern.
Or I don't know,
You know what I'm saying?
or take Guy Gardner. Take Guy Gardner and make it a little bit more, kind of a spin-off deal.
Comedy.
The problem with Guy Gardner though is that most people that know Guy Gardner is being the dude that got punched by Batman in the face and dropping. You know what I'm
That shit
saying?
was great. That fucking scene. That shit was fucking funny.
And I think Guy Gardner might be too abrasive a character to fit into the DC EU or whatever they're calling it now. They changed the name to it.
World of DC.
World of DC. And I think he might be too abrasive a character to use, and I just don't know. I think Guy Gardner would be the wrong way to go. That's just me.
I think a Green Lantern movie has the advantage of having a universe to back it up. And I think if they were going to introduce a new Green Lantern that could look promising, would be in the next Justice League movie if they ever do one. Introduce him as a character solely in the next Justice League movie, and then break off from that and then do a Green Lantern movie. Give people a taste of what this new Green Lantern is going to be like in this movie. And if people like it, if people are hyped for it, then follow through with it. And if people still aren't feeling it, well then it's hard water to tread. But I don't think you should just give up on the character entirely.
Yeah, especially since you can do good effects with a low budget. You don't have to put as much money into the movie and then later say, oh yeah, it wasn't a success, we're not doing follow up, and essentially blame the moviegoers. You can do that with 100 million and it still looks good. Especially with only CGI. You don't have the effects anymore like the 90s Spawn movie, where you nowadays look at the movie and you have that cowl and the cape that's kind of floating and kind of, I don't know, wobbling all over the hero itself. It still looks attached to it. You can do it with a minimal low budget, if you want to call it like that.
And I think the biggest tragedy out of the Green Lantern movie is that Mark Strong is probably never going to be Sinestro again. And
yeah, that is true.
He had a great performance in that, and the guy that played Hector Hammond was actually really good. And I think that was part of the movie. Part of the problem with that movie too is the tonality of it. You had Ryan Reynolds as this really goofy Hal Jordan, and then you had a real serious Sinestro and a really creepy Hector Hammond.
That's true.
And I mean, with Ryan Reynolds, he's very typecast. Like every like he fits Deadpool perfectly because that is just his personality. That is who Ryan Reynolds is, right? And with with him being Hal Jordan, it wasn't Ryan Reynolds as Hal Jordan. It was Hal Jordan as Ryan Reynolds.
It was it was Wade Wilson as Green Lantern.
Yeah.
That's right. That's
too
right.
comical for me too. Exactly. I didn't like the Hal Jordan portrayal.
Yeah, that was my problem.
He didn't even like it apparently.
Yeah, to his credit, he wasn't a fan either.
And I hate him. I know like most fanboys love him, but Nathan Fillion would have been perfect in that role.
I love Nathan Fillion.
Isn't he the one that does the voice for the animated Hal Jordan, right? Yeah. In most of the movies, yeah.
And I mean, the dude's fit as fuck. You see that new series he's got coming out, that new cop series. He's running around all over the place, so he could carry that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He also did a Nathan. Sorry, go ahead.
Okay.
No, it's okay.
Oh, he also did an Uncharted fan film as well.
Yeah, I saw that.
A lot of people have been clamoring for him to play Nathan Drake for a long time, actually.
Well, they're doing some live action Halo shit, and I really hope that they feature Buck and that he gets the live action role for. I mean, he would, but that he gets the live action role for Buck in the Halo movie. I hope that the Halo movies or show has him in it, because to me, Eddie Buck is one of the best characters in Halo, and I feel like the only reason it's one of the best characters in Halo is because of Nathan Fillion. Nathan Fillion is such a good actor. Like I've loved him since Firefly, right? And like most people have.
The only role I liked him in was Caleb in Buffy.
But
I didn't know he was in Buffy.
Yeah, dude, he was in either the last season or the second to last season, and he played a psycho fucking preacher. He was the one that blinded Xander with his thumb.
Oh, I'm gonna have to look into that.
And that, speaking of Buffy, that was something low key that came out of SDCC, the Buffy reboot from Joss Whedon producing.
Yes, I did see that. I saw a note of that, and it's gonna be a black actress playing Buffy. I saw.
What, they're gonna do a Buffy reboot?
A Buffy reboot with black chick in the lead.
Yeah. I'm like, why do they even really have to like bring that up? Like, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, okay, whatever. I was a fan of the old school Buffy like show, so I'm like, all right, if they revive it, hopefully it's good.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at it.
They brought it up.
He's just adding emphasis.
He took a whole bottle of X or something. What the fuck?
In chain. No.
What the hell?
Your net is dying, brother.
Yeah, no,
That's
man. McDonald's must be getting ready to close.
That's the first.
Are we good?
Okay, there you go.
Well, yeah, you're good. What were you saying?
You're lying to me. I'm not good.
No, you're good. What were you saying?
No, I said it was a smart thing for them to go ahead and say it was going to be a black actress, to go ahead and check all the racist nerds.
Oh man, I saw
social media today is tainted.
It really is
ridiculous.
Sure is.
The harassment of all these fucking actors, like playing these roles, causing them like to quit their fucking social media and all that. It's crazy.
It's ridiculous. It's
insane.
And you know what's
more tough guy.
Yeah, and what's worse is like these movie companies, they know that this happens. Why would they? Why go out and make a grand statement like, I don't care what anyone thinks, it's going to be a black actress, or this person's now gay? Why do you have to make it a grand statement? Why don't you just do it and let people react accordingly?
I think with this, I trust it because it's Whedon doing it, and I'm not the hugest Whedon fan. Like I said, I wasn't a huge Firefly fan, but I mean, Angel and Buffy were like, my early 20s and shit. Yeah, I loved that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was even a huge Dollhouse fan with Eliza Dushku.
Eliza Dushku.
Mm-hmm.
That was only like a one season show, right? Or did it go two?
Nah, that was a one season show. It got dropped by Fox, just like fucking Firefly did.
Oh, that's something else. Like while we're talking about low key shit coming out of Comic-Con, them saving Lucifer. You saying Fox reminded me.
Yeah, it's going to Netflix.
So
yeah,
man.
My
Dude,
wife
love
is so
Lucifer.
happy about that.
Good show, man. Like, and I want to say, like, the actor had a big part. Like the dude that plays Lucifer, he had a big part in kind of making that happen. But like the big display, it showed the wings and it said, you know, saved or whatever. Like I thought that was cool. That had me, yeah.
Also, SDCC, I wanted to add my highlights. Like the trailers, I already had that, but the problem that I had a little bit was actually with the Hot Toys display, because nowadays franchises like RoboCop, the original, and Terminator, those are pretty low key nowadays. And what I absolutely hated was the booth by Hot Toys where we didn't see one fucking bit to close down the lines of RoboCop or Terminator 1 or 2. We only saw Star Wars and Marvel again. I mean, okay, Marvel showed more to that concept line. They did with the exclusive Captain America. They showed it now with the Mark 46, the concept version. That's kind of interesting, but again, it's only Marvel. And the only interesting piece for me on the Hot Toys display was actually only Darth Maul, and again, it was Star Wars. There was nothing new and intriguing for me. Like they didn't even show like 2 years back where we got that amazing battle damage RoboCop sculpt with Peter Weller and everything. I was blown away with that.
Mm-hmm.
And today there was just plain nothing. And the only positive thing, like paddling back to that and combining it, was to me really from Blitzway, where they showed that new CPU chip and the moving T800 arm. That was my thing. That was my highlight. A moving T800 arm. I don't have a T800 arm in my collection, so that's a definite pre-order, because that's gonna be one hell of a display piece, and I love the video on it where it actually makes a fist and everything.
Oh, that's cool. Also, it moves.
Yeah, well, it moves. It has sequences. Sequence where it moves its fingers, and another sequence where it makes a fist, like the scene where Arnold says, "Now you listen to me very carefully."
Ah, nice.
I think that has a lot to do with going where the money is, though. Like you got to do what makes you money, and with tackling these franchises, making the merchandise based off of a franchise, you got to go with the one that has the most variety, which is Star Wars and Marvel. Marvel's very plentiful with its characters and its superheroes. Star Wars is very plentiful with its universe, whereas Terminator, I mean, like a T800 is almost the same as a T1000. You know, like there is stuff that they could do. There is stuff that they could do, but it's not nearly as plentiful as, say, your Star Wars universe or your Marvel universe or DC.
Yeah, of course, it's not as plentiful, of course, but people eat that shit up. When you have RoboCop, you want to do what you see the numbers and you buy it, and RoboCop at 209, the battle damage, the diecast, those things are sold out. They don't produce it anymore, so there's a market for it. Mm-hmm. You can absolutely do a 2-pack. 2-packs are what's going on. You had the 2-pack. What was that other 2-pack? Either way, they're doing 2-packs now, and it works. Right. The Mark 7 and the Pepper Potts from Iron Man 3 that work too. Those things work. You can actually do a Dick Jones and a Clarence Boddicker with a battle damage sculpt for Clarence Boddicker, both in the suit. There's not much to it, and that shit will sell because Hot Toys doesn't do villains. That would be a whole new line. I don't know why, but they don't do villains. Look at Yellow Jacket. Teased 2 years ago. It didn't come out. Also with Wonder Woman, Ares. Why no Ares? They do 2 or 3 or 4 versions of Wonder Woman, but you have no villain. No Steppenwolf, even though Justice League was shit. I mean, if you want to display that, you want to have the villains.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I guess. Maybe they just see that maybe they're just not selling as many as they do that the primary protagonists in these films.
And then again, with like you talk about RoboCop and stuff, that's another. They're rebooting it yet again, so you never know what the rights are and what the licensor will approve because they're pushing new product instead of the old stuff. It happens with every property.
Yeah, but that's the problem. That's the problem. That's the problem. I mean, that's just not the love for the old franchises, and that's really sad. That's sad to me. And also, like I said, Terminator. Every Terminator fan, and there are lots of there. I know a few, and they would all directly jump on a new Kyrie's and a Sarah Connor from Terminator 1, or a 2-pack with the two John Connor, and I don't know. There are possibilities. Hot Toys can do it, and it doesn't cost them much because they have the true types and everything now. They could do it. So that's my piece from SDCC essentially.
Okay, I think the opportunities will be there because aren't they have a new Terminator film coming out, right? With Arnold and Linda Hamilton, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like, you'll get probably the new product on Hot Toys, whatever their current characters are going to look like in this upcoming film, and maybe that'll open the door for them to doing more retro stuff, like the stuff that you want, Tim. Did they ever make an announcement that they're not going to produce any more RoboCop related items?
No, that's not what they're doing. They're just teasing stuff somewhere down the line, like 3 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, where they also showed a Ripley from Aliens with a power loader, a new one. That was only teased. It was never announced. That's also the thing with the things you saw this year's. When you have a figure that's looking essentially done, but on the stand it says TBD. It's not certain. You may be happy now, but it may not be announced. Like also with the Chitauri on Avengers, those were released, but they were shelf warmers. Hot Toys will now have second thoughts to release an Outrider for Avengers Infinity War. It may seem finished, but it can just go into the Hot Toys prototype bin for nothing. That's not certain.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Anybody else? Did anybody see that? I think I don't know if it came out before the convention, but that Titans trailer, the whole shit.
I
With
saw that. Oh yeah, I'm looking.
The fuck
that.
Batman at the end.
Yeah, that's the one being released exclusively on DC's platform now.
Yeah,
it was going to be on like TNT at first, and then I guess they decided to go way fucking darker with it. Yeah.
What's everyone's opinion on DC launching their own platform like that? That's kind of interesting.
It looks like they're rushing to do it before Marvel does.
I think that's honestly been the problem with DC movies all along, not trying to do too much too soon.
Yeah, it's they're not following the process. They're trying to rush shit out. They're not doing the world building that they need to do.
It's almost like, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it's almost like they're not learning. They're just seeing what's there, and then okay, I want that, and that's what they're doing. You know what I mean? They're not learning the process. They're just trying to emulate what Marvel has now, and they want that now.
I mean, it comes across that way. That's just always been my impression.
Yeah.
And I mean, DC has some really good creative minds. It's just, it's not translating into film.
They do better in animation, man. Animation seems to be their bread and butter, and hopefully they correct course with the live films. Justice League, you could tell they were just trying to basically reboot that movie universe unsuccessfully. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like they were trying to keep up with Marvel with that, more or less.
We'll see how the rest of these films turn out. Aquaman, just through the trailer, looks promising, and I think it's just that actor himself has a coolness factor to him. Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. He'll bring that to the character.
I feel like it'll be like another Wonder Woman situation.
I think Aquaman will do well for him because he is that character that everybody's like, he always gets joked on, and I think he'll turn that character around in everybody's eyes with that film.
I really loved in the trailer. They're like, oh look, Arthur's talking to fish, and then the shark hits the glass, and you look, and every fish in the tank is just like right there, like, what'd you say about our boy here?
Fucked up now.
Were anybody on the panel like Young Justice fans? We're getting a new season of that.
I'm
excited about that.
Love that.
Also, what about that Clone Wars announcement bringing it back?
No, not my type of tea. No.
I'm not a big Star Wars guy to begin with, so
I find it stupid. The only thing I can say that first, I'm not a big Star Wars guy, and second, you had the Clone Wars movies, then you have the series which rebooted Clone Wars, and now they're doing more Clone Wars. Man, why not jump the shark? Really?
I think that's based on the success of the Clone Wars series. The show.
It is. The way I understand, a lot of Star Wars fans really do dig it. So
they're really hype about it. Yeah. You know what? I'm happy for them. I wish Transformers would follow suit with that.
I'm ready for Hasbro to sell out to Disney. Like, I've been saying it, and people are like, no, but honestly, I am, man. Like, let it happen.
Well, everyone was up in arms when Disney first bought Marvel because they're like, oh, Mickey Mouse in a Spider-Man suit. Oh, Mickey Mouse in an Iron Man suit. But like, they've done nothing but good for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. You know what I mean? Anything that did, and you know what, that could be what DC is lacking. Maybe they just need DC or Disney buy us, please,
God.
save us.
Yeah.
Hey, we
You know
could
what
have
I'm
that. We could have that crossover universe. Have Dark Claw.
Yeah, Amalgam.
No.
That would be something. That would be something.
I still can't wait for the House of Mouse movie.
House of Mouse.
But the funny thing I saw is because Comcast dropped their bid, that Disney's gonna most likely acquire Fox. And I saw a meme and it said, "Now Klinger is officially a Disney princess."
Oh wow.
It's actually funny because when James Gunn got fired, I don't know if you guys have covered that already, but when James Gunn got fired, it was right around the time. I think it was just after Comcast backed out for the bid for Fox, and I feel like maybe that was a ploy to make them look good. You know what I mean? Like they don't tolerate any of that. They're going after this bid seriously for Fox. And
man, that's the thing though. Like he apologized for that shit like
Years ago,
way back.
Yeah.
And
That's awesome.
shit's just not right, man. Like they did him wrong.
Yeah,
and
I agree.
Any of us have never made mistakes,
And the thing is, that was the humor back then. Like whenever he posted all that, like all these motherfuckers are acting like Anthony Jeselnik didn't have his own television show. Like that shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's
a trauma. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
It's kind of hypocritical nowadays. I mean, back in the day, like 10 years ago. Nowadays, I have really the thought that people are fucking borderline bored nowadays. Everyone gets fed up with, I don't know, topics or bullshit that were laughed off 10 years ago. 10 years ago, no one gave a rat's ass about that. They were essentially laughing it off, like, oh, no, you didn't, motherfucker. And then life went on.
Yeah.
And I don't get that shit.
And like whoever looked that shit up, man, they had to do some serious digging. And how it was all put together, all the collage of all the tweets, like that was a tactical hit job.
Exactly.
How much you want to bet whoever was hired to do that got paid overtime though?
Yeah. Big time.
And you know what? I feel like a big part of it. Oh yeah, I feel like a big part of it is, and don't let this get misconstrued, but right now we're in a society of losers. I don't mean that in the literal sense that we're all losers. What I'm saying is, like the way our economy is, with the way that our future looks, like we're losing everything. And sometimes there are tons of petty people out there, but sometimes people just need a win, and the only way to get a win is to get one up on somebody, even if they don't know them. So they drag them through the mud so that they themselves feel like they're winning, and that's what the whole society is.
That's how Hannibal Buress got famous. The dude that took down Cosby.
Yeah, well, he was doing things before that, but yeah, that was the thing that brought him
that's
more
what made
prominence.
Yeah.
But I mean,
like
he was on Tim and Eric first. He'd done specials before Netflix too, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but like Dave Chappelle does Netflix specials. You mean to tell me Hannibal Buress is Dave Chappelle? I don't think so.
No, but he's a funny dude. I mean,
he is. I'm not trying to take that away from him, but had he kind of exposed all that, like had he not, rather, where would he be? You know what I mean? I'm not trying to defend what Cosby did either. But it's yeah.
But at the same point, how it came out was like somebody was heckling him because of his blue language, and he was like, "Oh, so you must be a big Bill Cosby fan," with him being a clean comic. And the lady was like, "Oh yeah, I love Cosby." And he's like, he's been raping bitches for about 40, 50 years now, right?
Right.
And it was
Cosby raping bitches since the 90s.
No, dude, since like the 60s.
Oh, Mr. Huxtable.
Yeah. But like I agree some of what Ty said. It's everybody's looking to take somebody down a peg, and by taking someone down a peg, you feel like you're stepping up over them on the ladder.
Yeah.
Oh, like look at all this Facebook stuff. I mean, people get reported for not having their full proper name, and now you got to show Facebook your driver's license, your passport, your SIN number, all that kind of shit.
That's some scary shit, man.
And you know what? There's people out there that live for that. That's how they get a win. They'll report your name. They'll report that one time 7 years ago when you said the F word, and I'm not talking about fuck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, I was about to say, wait, which one? But
No. But you know what? And I kind of think that this whole situation with James Gunn is almost a blessing in disguise. Yes, Disney did him dirty, but now there's people stepping up, being like, okay, hold on, this is a little extreme. Because he did apologize, and there should be a statute of limitations. Because 10 years ago, you know how much a person can grow in 10 years.
Exactly.
The stupid shit that I've done 10 years ago, I am a completely different. But we're all different people than who we were 10 years ago, and now people are realizing it. Dave Bautista stood up for him. You know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah. And here's the thing: if we didn't change from the people we were 10 years ago, how many of us would be happy with the person we would be now versus then?
Right? I wasn't happy where I was 10 years ago.
I mean, I was, okay, it's a broad generalization statement, but you know what I mean, though. Everybody is capable of growth, and those of us that don't grow, it's a sad situation. But to just basically convict somebody, it's like, oh, well, you're a horrible person because of a poorly told joke a decade ago, and then bang, okay. And then, people like Roseanne said, well, all these people that threw me under the bus are the ones that are supporting him. He didn't say anything terrible or racist. He just made some blue-collar jokes. You specifically targeted an individual in a racist, hateful manner. But yet both of them lose their jobs, and some people can't differentiate between. I'm like, you know what? So he said some stuff. I've said worse jokes.
Yeah, I know I've made worse jokes.
But it's not only that with Roseanne. Roseanne said what she said presently, proving that she's still a shitty person. Whereas James Gunn has since, not only like he's apologized, but he also didn't take them down. He owned it. Like this was from a time when that was the humor, and I'm sorry it offends people now. Like, I get it. I take onus on that.
It's like,
I'm sorry.
I tried to get a rise.
I'm sorry that you're getting in your feelings about a joke I made, a decade ago.
When it was a funny joke to make 10 years ago.
Yeah,
that was the humor then. Everyone was wanting to find that comedian to push that unpushable boundary.
Yeah.
This outrage culture that we live in, it's always, and I'm not saying there isn't people out there that do deserve to get shit thrown at them, because there are terrible fucking people out there. Kevin Spacey, for example, Bill Cosby, et cetera, but there are innocent people being targeted and having shit thrown at them for shit they did, like James Gunn 10 years ago, 10 plus years ago, right? And it's people that have nothing to lose or nothing to gain taking down people who have everything to lose. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's how they're getting up on people. Like,
and that's bringing with them a sense of power with that as well.
Exactly.
Which is more people fucking probably do it, which is fucking crazy.
Exactly.
Well, the way I see it is they're taking something like, I'm going to ruin this guy's entire life over a tweet that ruined my day, or just hurt my feelings just the slightest bit.
Gunn got brought down because his personal views didn't line up with this person that like went and ousted him. Like that's even worse. It's even worse.
That's the pettiness. That's the pettiness. That's what I'm talking about.
Just because he had a different personal set of views on. I believe it was something political, something. It was so fucking minor.
It always is.
Because Gunn tweets out against the current administration, and this was a very avid supporter of the current administration that went after him.
A group of people that make fun of snowflakes, they sure do melt pretty quick. But I'll leave it at that.
And you know what? Like this whole culture it's not only just affecting the entertainment industry; it's affecting everywhere. Look at gangsters nowadays, man. Snitching on people used to be frowned upon. Now everyone's a snitch. You know what I mean? Like, it's cool to be the snitch. I got 911 on speed dial. You know what I'm saying? Like, this outrage culture, I'm glad I feel it's coming to an end. And, I feel like this James Gunn situation is a very good example of how it's starting to make headway to coming to an end, because people are standing up now like, listen, enough is enough.
Yeah, exactly.
So
it's time to grow up and move on with your lives. Don't let one set of tweets ruin.
Yeah, I mean that's also the thing. When we think about the 90s, okay, Bill Clinton got his dick sucked by Monica Lewinsky. Yep. So
Amen,
that was but think about Aunt Emma in her small shop blowing Uncle Billy from across the corner. No one gives a rat's ass about that. But it's Bill Clinton, and all of a sudden, oh no.
It's because these people have something to lose.
It's because people are fucking bored nowadays. If people have a fucking life with fucking shit to pay, with actual problems, and wouldn't stick their fucking head out of the window, always
that's
looking.
What I'm saying, man. It's from people who got nothing to lose, targeting people who got everything to lose.
Yeah,
yep, I agree with you.
They're just fucking bored. Get a fucking life is all I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Amen.
That's that social media, man. It's good, but it's also
a blessing and a curse.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That double-edged sword.
It can go to want some dick to losing your job.
Hey.
Shit.
Well, I know exactly where you pulled that line.
Josh, yes, dude, has anybody else heard that story?
No.
Oh, now I have to tell the story.
Oh man.
All right. Misty and I have been together 13 years now. Misty has a son from a prior relationship. He was about 13 years old the first time I met him. However, the first time I ever spoke to him, I thought I was speaking to her. And I sent her a message over one of the messenger apps that used to be popular back in the day. And that was the exact quote that I used, those 3 words. Want some dick. And he responds. He says, "Hold on, she's taking a nap. I'll go get her." And I was like, "Oh fuck, that was her teenage son."
Josh is like, "Shit, I'm going to jail." Chris Hanson's gonna knock on my door any minute.
I was like, "She's gonna be so pissed." So I didn't tell her until last year.
Oh,
gosh. Wow. That's some fucking shit. It's cool that the fucking little man kept it fucking between y'all. That's cool.
Yeah. I just
also pretty professional. Wait a second, I'll go get her.
Yeah.
At 13 years old, he understood the game.
Yeah.
That's some cold-blooded shit.
He got it all laid out.
Big up little dude.
He understood the game, trust me. That kid, we could go through a drive-through and he'd get the girl's number that was working the drive-through, and she'd be like 17, 18. He's like 13, 14 years old. He was smooth, man.
Nice.
See, the only thing that ever happened at a drive-through with me when I first got together with my wife, we weren't married yet, went through a Hardee's drive-through in Virginia, and this toothless chick was in the drive-through, and I go I'm driving, and I go up to get my food, and she's like, "Oh, is that your sister?" And I'm like, "No." And she's like, "Well, here's my number on the back of the receipt. Maybe you can call me sometime." And I'm like, "This is my girlfriend, man." What the hell?
Damn.
Man, she was farming for some dick, even though it was like your woman was sitting right there with you.
Yeah, man.
No shame in her game, yo. No shame.
Dude, there was a chick that came into the casino one night, and she was whispering to me, and I was like, "What the fuck are you saying?" I was talking to somebody else. Finally, I got her to speak up. She goes, "Can I have your number?" And my chick in the casino, I mean, one of the meth heads. So I was like, "Okay, sure." So I went into the cage and I looked up the number for the methadone clinic. On a piece of paper.
Oh man, my boy saving live with this dick.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Oh my god. How about those SDC announcements?
I know. I did my last couple of notes that I had as far as like my stuff, besides all the trailers that we spoke about, is did you hear about like supposedly they showed some new Venom footage?
Yeah.
Nice.
I saw an announcement or a statement from the director talking about why Venom doesn't have the white spider on his chest. It's simple, because he didn't get his origin from Spider-Man, so he wouldn't be associated with Spider-Man. I'm sitting here thinking, but he's using the same type of powers. Come on now.
I mean, we don't know that. We didn't see him to walk lynching.
Yeah,
I don't really see his powers as web. I just see them as just kind
extensions
of
of
cool
the symbiote.
Yeah, it's using like tendrils and stuff like that. Yeah.
So we've all seen our fair share of hentai, so.
Dude, I will watch Tom Hardy. I will watch Tom Hardy in anything. So I'm excited for this because I was a Venom head back in the day, and this is going to be based off of Lethal Protector and Separation Anxiety.
Yeah.
They've already cast other symbiotes, and I guess fucking Woody Harrelson as fucking Carnage, maybe.
That's the rumor.
Oh, I'd be right in for that. I'm not a super duper fan whatsoever, but I've been seriously considering picking up them Revoltech, Venom, and Carnage. Those look fantastic.
They are amazing looking.
You need to go with that Select Life, baby.
Woody Harrelson, he may be old, but he could pull off a Psychopath. What was it? California back in the 90s?
Natural Born Killers, yeah.
Natural Born Killers. California was Brad Pitt, wasn't it?
That's right. Natural Born Killers. My mistake.
Willem Dafoe needs to get in on these super dupers, man.
Yeah, I see Willem Dafoe being more of a Joker than anything.
In De Niro signing on for the Joaquin Phoenix Joker movie to play some role, and Scorsese is producing it.
Cool.
Interesting. Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about these multiple Joker movies, Jokers, and they're going to be coming out around the same time.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
We'll see what happens, man, because it could cause confusion. Like a person, I think people like us that we're not really casuals when it comes to this stuff, we could differentiate. But to the casual movie-going audience, like Tim was bringing it up, saying how certain newer films have a stigma because of bad films that came out back in the day, that the same thing could be said here. That could cause confusion to different Joker movies.
Exactly.
Well, I don't think Leto's getting a movie by himself, is he?
Yeah, Leto. It's supposed to be one with Leto, which is in the current continuity, and then
but that's supposed to be him and Harley Quinn together, which they already established.
And they're talking about the bird. I think what was it? The Birds of Prey or the
Birds of Prey, and it's going to be Harley, Black Canary. I can't remember who else. Oh, it's supposed to be Cassandra Cain.
Yeah, right. That too, and the Joaquin Phoenix standalone prequel. That too. That's greenlit.
Well, I guess
he's producing. Joaquin Phoenix has already been cast, and fucking De Niro signed on.
Yeah,
I'm not against it. I think if any character of the DCU should get standalone movies, it definitely should be the Joker, because he's like the most interesting villain as far maybe from Batman. Like I said, I'm not super into the comics or nothing, but like to me, the Joker has always stood out as the biggest villain in that universe. And to give him, I think it's weird to give him 2 movies around the same time. Yeah. You know what I mean? It'd be like 2 Venom movies, or even 2 Iron Man movies, or 2 Thor. Yeah, it's weird to do 2 of the same character in different lights, but in the same sense, these are movies based around the villain, something that is kind of rare to see, and like we're seeing it with Venom now too. And I'm, as much as Venom's kind of questionable, I'm excited for it because I love Venom. I love the whole symbiote tree, but I think this could be telling whether or not they'll do more villain standalone movies.
Sony's doing a Morbius movie with Leto. So yes. Jared Leto is also going to be Morbius for Sony.
We'll see though, because Sony's announced stuff and it's fallen apart before. So I'm going to take, and it's the same thing with DC. They've announced certain things and then it's always getting switched up or changed. So once things are a little bit more concrete and these things go into pre-production, then I'll be like, okay, I'm willing to give anything a shot, just as long, hopefully they just do a good job. With the Venom, just like Josh said, they did confirm that they're not going to have the spider on the chest due to the origin, not being affiliated with Spider-Man. But they did tease that there could be an eventual crossover between the 2 characters.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, and Riot, I think, was also confirmed to appear in that trailer. It's another symbiote that they said supposed to be stronger and more powerful than Venom is. So,
and I think Lasher too. Well, Shriek's been confirmed.
Shriek too.
Yeah, and I think Lasher. Yeah, they're going off. The Life Foundation was when Eddie first moved to San Francisco.
Yeah, the Lethal Protector storyline. Yeah, just like you said.
So we'll probably see most of those symbiotes.
Do you think there's room for 2 different universes in Marvel?
Yeah, I think there's room for more than that. I mean, the X-Men universe and the MCU coexisted, and
that's true.
They're already treating the Netflix universe separate.
Basically, yeah.
Well,
it is.
Oh, really? Okay.
Somewhat. I mean, they reference the
shows reference the movies, but not vice versa. So it's basically its own thing. You don't even see Avengers Tower in the skyline in any of the fucking.
I'm just thinking, what if this Venom spawns like a darker Spider-Man movie? that is completely disconnected from like Homecoming and the whole Marvel universe.
I would buy that. I would buy that.
I'd be down for that.
Buy into that? Yeah, I think I would too.
As long as they make it different enough. They need to make it different enough. I don't mind it them having the separate like universes and stuff like that.
I mean, there's
created enough so it doesn't really cause like confusion.
And like what Kevin Feige said is, we don't have room for Venom and what they're doing over at Sony right now.
Yeah.
And when they get Fantastic Four and X-Men back, man, I mean, what the hell? Because I mean, we have 3 Marvel movies a year already from them just churning them out. So I mean, when they get Fantastic Four and X-Men back, what's that going to be, like 5 or 6 movies?
They should just space it out.
Every other month.
The character usage.
They should just space it out. If they have the characters, take the time necessary to plan everything out properly, space it out, and then they could use the Fantastic Four and the X-Men as linchpins for their next phases for these films.
The actress that plays Scarlet Witch. Something Olsen. I know she's an Olsen.
Elizabeth Olsen.
Elizabeth, that's right. She had she had made remarks that she would really like to do a House of M movie, but like that has to be with the X. Yeah. They have to have the X-Men in for that, and like we like there's probably going to be a lot of like undoing of things in Avengers 4, I would think. So. A good way to bring back Quicksilver. Honestly, I think they should use the dude from the Fox X-Men, Quicksilver. I liked him way better than the Kick-Ass guy. Like him playing the role in that particular story arc, and Michael Fassbender just screaming at him, "Boy, what gives you the right?" Fuck, man, that would send goosebumps all down my back, man.
And I think the way that they could do House of M is make it the exact opposite of what she did in the comics, where she was like, no more mutants. You know what I'm saying? Have her be like, we need more heroes.
And then boom.
Changes everything.
But see, that's the thing, man. Like I want, like after seeing Brolin as Cable, I want some standalone Cable shit. And the best standalone Cable shit would be that Messiah Complex, and Second Coming arc. Just the Messiah trilogy, and then that Second Coming thing, kind of bringing that all back together. So I think the No More Mutants thing has to be, like, it's got to be there.
Well, you have to build up to that too. That's not something that you should do right off the bat. You have to introduce the mutants.
I want to see that. I want to see that.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying is if they go the opposite route and have her be like, we need more heroes instead of no more mutants, bang, you go straight into House of M.
Well, you don't have to even necessarily go straight into House of M.
Yeah.
It's at the end of the next Avengers movie, something's going to be reset. There's going to be new heroes. There's going to be some heroes that are hanging it up, or
that's what I'm saying though. That would be a great way to put everything on the shelf. Do some X-Men,
They don't even have to say, we need more heroes or anything like that. It's just, something happens, and if this Sony, or if this Fox buyout goes through, and all of a sudden it's like, okay, now they have it. There is a springboard to say everything is back the way it's supposed to be, but something is different, and then say, maybe you'll see like the Baxter building in the background of the skyline or something.
Oh, yeah.
Just to let you know.
Yeah.
You see something is new, something is different. But I don't know. It's
maybe like it's replacing the Avengers Tower or something.
That would be even replacing it. Just, just have the, some Avengers be at Avengers Tower and look across the city and they see, this building with a big 4 logo on it. And they're like, what?
Imagine. People go nuts.
That would be something.
Oh, dude. Oh, man, just thinking about it, man, it's giving me good. Like, I cannot fucking wait for Avengers 4.
Yeah,
like, I'm so excited.
I want to see a proper fucking Galactus movie.
Yeah,
but
dude.
Here's the thing: bringing in, with this buyout, bringing in the characters that they can now use with Fantastic Four and the X-Men, you do realize what super huge crossover they can build up to over the next 10 years, right?
Avengers versus X-Men.
Secret Wars.
That's true.
And that would be amazing.
And see, that's another thing. If they don't want to go the Scarlet Witch route, they can go the Doctor Doom route.
Yeah. Dude, oh yeah.
Everybody's like, he's the only really good villain. You bring in some Doctor Doom.
Dude, I got the perfect dude to play, and we were talking about the show earlier. Fucking Tom Ellis from Lucifer. That's your Doctor Doom.
Oh
look that
wow,
up.
yeah.
That's your perfect Doctor Doom.
Yeah, he looks good. I gotta say, he looks good.
I don't know who he is.
I don't know the
You've
actor
never seen
either.
Lucifer?
No.
No, I've not.
No, I haven't either.
Either.
In like a
Is he,
perfect
is he
fucking Mr. Fantastic would be Matt Smith, the 11th Doctor Who.
Talking about? No.
Yeah, dude. He was in Terminator.
Yeah, I hated that.
Yeah,
I'm not a
he would be
fan
a
of Matt
good
Smith.
Richard.
Keep that Doctor Who out of my Terminator.
Hey,
Yeah.
I love Doctor Who. Trust me, I'm a big Doctor Who fan.
I veto
Matt Smith
Doctor
was my
Who.
least-
No thanks.
Matt Smith was my least favorite Doctor.
Oh, see, he was my favorite. Him and Christopher
I was-
Eccleston.
I love Eccleston, but I love Tennant and I love Capaldi. Really excited about the new season.
Yeah, the chick season looks pretty good.
Yeah, I mean it was cool that we got a little bit of a look at the new season coming up at SDCC. But
Yeah, that was another thing that
wasn't
came out,
enough.
like that minute trailer.
Yeah, it wasn't enough. I'm like, show me more.
Nice. It's a tease because all this stuff is coming soon, so
Yeah,
Doctor Who's gonna be this fall.
yeah.
I'm really looking forward to that Spider-Man game.
Yep.
That looks
Because
dope.
I loved the Batman Arkham series, and
Mhm.
this gameplay, the way it looks very reminiscent of the combat styles, but so much more fluid. and involved.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
looks like it's going to be an amazing game to play.
And listen, you could pull off some crazy combos with Batman. Like my friend plays, and he pulls shit off that I'm like, how the fuck are you doing that? Like I'm pretty good, but he's chaining so many of these different fucking moves and combos together. I'm like,
Wait, which Batman game?
the last
The
one,
Arkham series.
Arkham,
Oh, okay.
the Arkham Knight, last one, and just the series in general. Just the way the gameplay engine is nice, and it does look like Spider-Man is borrowing from that. But I like the premise that it's an experienced Spider-Man, so you're gonna get a lot of those moves right from the very beginning.
Yeah,
Yeah.
at E3 they showed like an 8-minute game segment, like a little bit of
Yeah.
the gameplay, and I mean we saw Rhino, Electro, Vulture,
Awesome.
Mr. Negative. Who else?
There's
Dr.
quite a bit in it.
Octopus. Yeah,
Are
there
we
were
ever
like
going to see a
6 or 7.
Hobgoblin again?
I would love that. That'd be cool.
Probably.
That's
I
a
would
good-
love a Hobgoblin.
Who do you think the mystery villain is? Because they teased like a mystery.
Yeah, at the very end they teased a mystery, and it could be Green Goblin, but I don't think it will be. I think it'll be a Goblin though. Might be that Red Goblin.
Red
Who knows?
Goblin. That's what I was gonna say.
Who's the Jungle Master? What was his
Craven.
name?
Craven.
Craven. He'd be really cool.
I loved Craven. He was awesome.
Or Scorpion.
Oh yeah, Scorpion was also shown in the trailer.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
They have to throw all the freaking classic ones in there, man. Like I'd be
Yeah,
disappointed if they didn't. And I like that they're kind of going, I think, with a couple that are a little bit more obscure also. Like I dig that.
Mhm.
Because aren't they supposed to have like a system where they're like back in the day, like with Spider-Man 2, there's just crimes happening around the city that you could just kind of stop and
Yeah.
so you could just free roam basically if you wanted to, like that. That's cool, man. I like that because sometimes you just want to do that. Just jump on real quick, swing around, stop some crime, and then fucking jump off.
If swinging around.
like the anti Mark version of GTA. You're just doing good shit as
Good
you come,
deeds.
and not running people over like you come.
Basically.
Well, they had that in GTA 5 too, where like it'd be a random event, but you'd be passing by and someone's getting their purse robbed, and I'd always go after the guy and grab the purse, but then I just drive away because it's $500 in my pocket. Fuck you, man. I'm trying to get this bread. Yeah.
All right, we could wrap up the discussion there and stuff, and of course, we'll continue, into the wee hours of the night. So before we head out, just got some where you at. Let the people know where they can find you on social media. So Dakota, I'll start with you, brother.
You want to know where I live?
Of course. Full name, address, social security number, all of it. All of it.
Wow.
Social security is as follows. I live in Northwest Louisiana.
The porta potty of USA.
It really is. And you can find me, or if you look at all the doomsday maps, like the safest place. Or you can find me on social media everywhere at Primal Sabbath.
Awesome. All right, Dalton, you're up next, brother.
I'm Dalton. You can pretty much find me everywhere at Daltonians TFs.
You were still in here?
I got a couple of sound bites out of him this episode.
That's usually what happens. He's really quite focused on what he's doing, and all of a sudden you hear him pop off a joke, and you don't hear from him for another hour.
Very tactical. He's very tactical.
Yeah, he is. He's crafty.
All right, Josh.
You can find me on Twitter at nsabanur1976, and I have a show I do called All Queued Up, a podcast that releases every other Friday. A new episode drops day after tomorrow. Sweet. Well, which by the time you release this, the new episode dropped 3 days ago. So. I know you publish on Mondays.
Yep. Right. All right. Nick Brammer.
What's up? You can find me, Nick Brammer, on Facebook, and Masterpiece Food Stamp King at farmersonly.com.
Did you say farmersonly.com?
That's been my go-to lately.
Oh yeah. Also, I'm on Facebook too. Is my regular.
Hey, you guys didn't say what part of the world y'all are on, and I'm starting to feel kind of fucked up right now.
I live
Dalton's from Colorado. Nick is from Florida. Josh is from Virginia.
Damn.
And okay, keep going.
Just
Man,
shouting
he's out
out.
everybody. Shit.
Yeah, man. Yeah, dude.
What about we were talking about snitches earlier, Dakota? What the fuck?
That's what you're saying. It's cool to be a snitch now.
Y'all gonna have somebody burning y'all's clothes, okay? Germany.
Come and get me.
That's right. I'm sitting right here.
All right, Tim K, you're next, brother.
Yeah, man, you can find me in the Facebook groups of Facebook at Tim K, at Figure Photography Crate on Facebook and Instagram, and if you want to have some subtitle reviews, at Tim K's Nerd Crate on YouTube.
Sweet. All right, Tyler.
What's up? I'm Ty. I'm a nice guy, Canadian cancer, but at least I try. You can find me on Stasis Lock every Wednesday at 7 p.m. where we talk about Beast Wars. I got an Instagram page, Ty Prime, Ty_Prime. Otherwise, you can find me on Facebook, shit posting, trolling G1 fans, getting death threats out the wazoo. And otherwise, you can find my pretty face on Pornhub if you look hard enough.
Damn. I'm gonna check that out real soon.
I knew what you were doing. I mean, fucking sucking your own toes, that's a pretty big fetish.
He was actually cleaning the shit out of a moose stall during cleaning the shit out of a moose stall during the filming of Royal Mounties 6.
Right. I'm from Toronto as well. Bram, I'm flexible.
I was just surprised, as I said.
All right, guys. Thank you for joining me here on Verbally Challenged. Really appreciate it. And of course, as I always say, you guys have an open invite to be on the show anytime you guys want. So really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks for having us, man. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
Glad I had a Tuesday off, yeah.
All right, guys. I hope you really enjoyed that. And once again, I want to thank Dakota, Dalton, Tim K, Bramalam, Nick Brammer, Ty Prime, and Josh Fisher for hopping on and having a conversation with me here on Verbally Challenged. And if you're out there listening, guys, anybody that's listening to the show right now, if you want to be a guest, if you want to hop on the show and have a conversation with me here on Verbally Challenged, you're more than welcome to. You can find me all over social media at HarikenBx. That's Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Xbox Live, and the PlayStation Network. Hit me up on social media, all at HarikenBx. All right, before we head out, some quick shout outs. Remember to check out Realm of Collectors. We have a website, realmofcollectors.com. We're on Facebook as a group, Realm of Collectors. We're on Instagram at Realm of Collectors. Pull up a chair to the cool table. It's a hub for like-minded podcasts, including Into the Realm and Breaking the Mold, Mondays and Tuesdays, respectively, on the Realm of Collectors YouTube channel. Plastic Fanatics, the late night aftercast on Victory Saber 77's YouTube channel. Those 3 shows are also available on audio format on iTunes and Google Play. The rest of the shows on the cool table are Shattercast Uncut, Nerd Rage Radio, Toy Detox, Stasis Lock, Building Up to It, Fresh Communication, Beer and Bolters 40K, and 8 Weeks. You can find the cool table on Facebook along with links to all these other great podcasts. All right, guys, that's it. That's the episode. Thank you for the download. Thank you for the stream. Thank you for listening. I really appreciate it. We'll be back soon. real soon with the next episode. All right. So please take care, stay safe, and peace out.